Welcome to Noun Tutorial TV. Like, share and subscribe. PED234, Man, Energy and Resources Summary. The overall aim of the course Man, Energy and Resources is to expose professional primary school teachers to materials which provide them with a wide range of knowledge about some basic concepts and ideas in science. There are aspects to the assessment of the course. 3. The issue surrounding how life originated has been a point of among different categories of individuals who are interested in the subject. Controversy. Traditionally, the study of has been fraught with allegations of indoctrination. History of life. Traditionally, the study of history of life has been fraught with of indoctrination. Allegations. Traditionally, the study of history of life has been fraught with allegations of indoctrination. May be defined as a conscious attempt to inculcate unshakable commitment to a belief or doctrine. Indoctrination. Indoctrination may be defined as a conscious attempt to inculcate unshakable commitment to a belief or doctrine. Much of the on which range of opinions on the subject are based is metaphysical. Evidences. Much of the evidences on which range of on the subject are based is metaphysical. Opinions. Much of the evidences on which range of opinions on the are based is metaphysical. Subject. Much of the evidences on which range of opinions on the subject are based is metaphysical. Is the only theory concerning the origin of life that appears scientific. Evolution. Evolution is the only theory concerning the that appears scientific. Origin of life. Evolution is the only theory concerning the origin of life that appears scientific. Dealing with the origin of life on the earth, on which man lives, and indeed the entire universe are diverse and uncertain. Theories. Theories dealing with the origin of life on the earth, on which man lives, and indeed the entire universe are and uncertain. Diverse. Theories dealing with the origin of life on the earth, on which man lives, and indeed the entire universe are diverse and uncertain. There have been views about the origin of life. Divergent. There have been divergent views about the origin of life. The argument had been between the science, contrary to popular belief, cannot contradict the divine origin of life. Scientists and theologians. The argument had been between the scientists and theologians, contrary to popular belief, cannot contradict the divine origin of life. Science. The argument had been between the scientists and theologians, science, contrary to popular, cannot contradict the divine origin of life. Belief. The major theories that have been put forth accounting for the origin of life on Earth include special creation, spontaneous generation, steady-state theory, biochemical evolution theory, cosmozoans theory. Life was created by a natural being at a particular time. Special creation. Life originated from non-living matter. Spontaneous generation. Life has no origin. Steady-state theory. Life moved onto these planets, Earth, from elsewhere. Cosmozoans theory. Life arose according to chemical and physical laws. Biochemical evolution theory. Theory is supported by most of the world's major religions, especially Islam and Christianity, and civilizations. Theory of special creation. Attributes the origin of life and indeed man to a supernatural event at a particular time in the past. Theory of special creation. According to theory, God created man in his own image. Theory of special creation. Proposed the theory of special creation. Archbishop Usher of Armagh. Theory was prevalent in ancient Chinese, Babylonian and Egyptian thought as an alternative to special creation. Theory of spontaneous generation. Believed that life arose spontaneously. Aristotle. Hypothesis of spontaneous generation assumed that certain particles of matter contained an active principle which could produce living organism under suitable condition. Aristotle. Theory asserts that the Earth had no origin, has always been able to support life, has changed a little, and that species had no origin. Steady state theory. Theory proposes that species, too, never originated. The only alternatives are for its numbers to vary or for it to become extinct. Steady state theory. The evidence presented in support of the steady state theory describes the fossil's appearance in ecological terms. Paleontological. The paleontological evidence presented in support of the describes the fossil's appearance in ecological terms. Steady state theory. The believed that fossilization is only favored in an increased population or movement of the organism into an area that favored fossilization. Steady state theory. The steady state theory believed that is only favored in an increased population or movement of the organism into an area that favored fossilization. Fossilization. Theory does not offer a mechanism or account for the origin of life but favors the idea that it could have had an extraterrestrial origin. Cosmozoan theory. Theory states that life could have arisen once or several times in various parts of our galaxy or the universe. Cosmozoan theory. Theory has its root in the belief of astronomers, geologists, and biologists that the Earth is about 4.5 to 5.0 thousand million years old. Biochemical evolution. Many believe that the original state of the Earth bore little resemblance to its present-day form and had the problem appearance. Biologists. Theory proposed that pre-existing substances would have undergone series of chemical changes. Biochemical evolution. Scientific theory may be on the one hand and skeptical on the other. Imaginative. Scientific theory may be imaginative on the one hand and on the other. Skeptical. The issue surrounding how life originated on Earth has been a major especially between scientists and religionists. Bone of contention. The issue surrounding how life originated on Earth has been a major bone of contention especially between and religionists. Scientists. The issue surrounding how life originated on Earth has been a major bone of contention especially between scientists and religionists. The issue surrounding how life originated on Earth has been a major bone of contention especially between scientists and religionists. Believe in empiricism and testing. Science. Favors indoctrination. Theology. Theology favors indoctrination. Science believe empiricism. In and testing. Science believe in empiricism and testing. The only scientific basis for how life originated and have assumed the present form is evolution. Major theories have been put forward accounting for the origin of life. 5. The between scientists and theologists regarding the history of origin of life had been on for so long and still continues. Controversy. The controversy between and theologists regarding the history of origin of life had been on for so long and still continues. Scientists. The controversy between scientists and regarding the history of origin of life had been on for so long and still continues. Theologists. The controversy between regarding the history of origin of life had been on for so long and still continues. Scientists and theologists. The term has a special place in the study of the history of life. Evolution. Refers to an overall gradual development which is both ordered and sequential. Evolution. Implies the development of differential organisms from pre-existing, less differentiated organisms over the course of time. Evolution. The concept of evolution did not start with Darwin. True. The concept of evolution did not start with Darwin when he published The Origin of Species. Lamarck is a biologist. French. Lamarck is a French biologist. Dash proposed a hypothesis to account for the mechanism of evolution based on two conditions. Lamarck. Lamarck proposed a hypothesis to account for the mechanism of evolution based on conditions. 2. According to dash dash, changes in the environment may bring about changes in behaviors, and this may lead to changed patterns of behavior which can bring about use or disuse of certain organs or structures. Lamarck. Extensive use would lead to dash dash. Increase in size and slash or efficiency. Disuse will lead to dash and atrophy. Degeneracy. Disuse will lead to degeneracy and dash dash. Atrophy. Dash will lead to degeneracy and atrophy. Disuse. Disuse will lead to degeneracy and atrophy. Dash said the long neck and legs of the modern giraffe was due to the short-necked and legged ancestors feeding on leaves of tall trees. Lamarck. The dash were then passed on to subsequent generations. Long neck and legs. Dash provided basis for the acceptance of concept of evolution, but his mechanism of change was not widely accepted. Lamarck's theory. Dash emphasis on the role of environment in producing phenotypic changes in individuals was correct. Lamarck's emphasis on the role of dash in producing phenotypic changes in individuals was correct. Environment. Lamarck's emphasis on the role of environment in producing phenotypic changes in individuals was dash dash. Correct. Lamarck's emphasis on the role of environment in producing dash changes in individuals was correct. Phenotypic. Dash exercises will increase the size of muscles. Bodybuilding. Bodybuilding exercises will increase the size of dash dash muscles. Bodybuilding exercises will increase the size of muscles, but this trait cannot be transmitted to the next generation because it is not dash dash genetic. Dash cut off the tail of mice over many successive generations. Weismann. Weismann cut off the dash of mice over many successive generations. Tail. Weismann cut off the tail of mice over many dash generations. Successive. Weismann cut off the tail of mice over many successive dash dash generations. Weismann cut off the tail of dash over many successive generations. Mice. Dash postulated that body-acquired characteristics, resulting in phenotypic changes, did not directly affect gamete and cannot be termite to the next generation. Weismann. Dash observed that under intensive competition, of numbers, in a population, any variation that favored survival would increase that individual's ability to reproduce and lead to fertile offspring. Darwin. Less favorable variation would lead to decreased number of individuals in the dash dash population. Less favorable variation would lead to decreased number of such individuals in the population. This provided Darwin the framework to formulate a theory of evolution by natural selection. Dash and Wallace proposed that natural selection is the mechanism by which new species arise from pre-existing species. Darwin. Darwin and Dash proposed that natural selection is the mechanism by which new species arise from pre-existing species. Wallace. Dash proposed that natural selection is the mechanism by which new species arise from pre-existing species. Darwin and Wallace. Darwin and Wallace proposed that Dash is the mechanism by which new species arise from pre-existing species. Natural selection. Dash within a population produce averagely more offsprings than are needed to replace themselves. Individuals. Individuals within a dash produce averagely more offsprings than are needed to replace themselves. Population. Individuals within a population produce averagely more dash than are needed to replace themselves. Offsprings. The theory of natural selection is based on three main observations which may be summarized as follows. Individuals within a population produce averagely more offsprings than are needed to replace themselves. The number of individuals in a population remain approximately constant. Variation exists within all populations. Dash exists within all populations. Variation. Variation exists within all dash dash populations. Struggle for existence or the hypothesis called dash provides the mechanism accounting for evolution. Natural selection. Struggle for existence or the hypothesis called natural selection provides the mechanism accounting for evolution. According to dash, favorable variations will be inherited by the next generation. Darwin. The following are misconceptions about Darwin's theory of evolution. Darwin made no attempt to describe how life originated on the Earth. Natural selection is not simply a negative, destructive force but can be a positive means of change in a population. The misconception that humans, man, evolved from the apes by some linear progression was over-sensationalized by the press and offended both the religious and secular communities. The apparent contradiction between the Genesis sixth-day creation account and the progressive origin of species vis-a-vis the Darwin-esque conclusions in The Origin of Species. Dash is an important concept to be considered when discussing the history of life. Evolution. Evolution is an important concept to be considered when discussing the history of life. Dash based his assumption on the influence or role of the environmental change in modifying structures which are then transmitted to the next generation. Lamarck. Dash suggests that the first organisms were heterotrophs. Current evidence. Current evidence suggests that the first organisms were heterotrophs. The dash involved in synthesizing food substance appear to have been too complex to have arisen within the earlier form of life. Chemical reactions. The earliest dash organisms, while utilizing solar radiation as their primary source of energy, lacked the pathway to produce oxygen. Photosynthetic. The earliest photosynthetic organisms, while utilizing dash as their primary source of energy, lacked the pathway to produce oxygen. Solar radiation. The earliest photosynthetic organisms, while utilizing solar radiation as their dash source of energy, lacked the pathway to produce oxygen. Primary. The increase in atmospheric oxygen and its ionization to form dash will reduce the amount of ultraviolet radiation from the sun reaching the surface of the Earth. Ozone layer. A study of the present-day organisms reveals a great variation in dash pathways associated with energy capture and release, which may show the nature of early experiments with living organisms. Biochemical. The theory of evolution as proposed by Darwin and Wallace has been modified by modern evidence from genetics, molecular biology, paleontology, ecology, and ethology. This is known as Neo-Darwinism. Neo means new. Dash may be defined as the theory of organic evolution by the natural selection of inherited characteristics. Neo-Darwinism. In order to accept Neo-Darwinism evolutionary theory, it is necessary to establish the fact that evolution, changes, has taken place in the past. Evolution. 2. Demonstrate a mechanism which results in evolution, natural selection of genes. 3. Observe evolution happening today, evolution in action. The following are the evidence for past evolution. A. There are evidence from many sources in support of past evolution. B. Evidence for a mechanism. C. Evidence for the action of these processes occurring today is provided by studies of present populations, such as in artificial selection, and genetic engineering, as in the cultivation of wheat and the synthesis of genes. There is need to guard against accepting any modern view with dogmas simply because they are reproducible under laboratory condition. The earliest organisms were heterotrophs. Gave a modern outlook concerning how life originated. Neo-Darwinism. All the accounts about the earliest organisms are and hypothetical. Speculative. All the accounts about the earliest organisms are speculative and hypothetical. Is the study of fossils. Paleontology. Paleontology is the study of fossils. Are any form of preserved remains thought to be derived from a living organism. Fossils may include the entire organisms, hard skeletal structures, molds and casts, petrifications, impressions, imprints and fossilized fecal pellets. Fossils were interpreted either as the remains of former creations or as artifacts inserted into the rocks by God. Fossils include the following: the entire organisms, hard skeletal structures, molds and casts, petrifications, impressions, imprints, fossilized fecal pellets. The incompleteness of the fossil record may be explained in terms of the following facts. Dead organism decompose rapidly. 2. Dead organism are eaten by scavengers. 3. Soft-bodied organism do not fossilize easily. 2. Only a small fraction of living organism will have died in conditions favorable for fossilization. 3. Only a fraction of fossils have been discovered. Evidence was based on the fact that all organisms are adapted to their environment. Geographical distribution. The reasons for discontinuous distribution are more than those of ecological factors. True. Of organisms on the basis of similarities and differences between organisms has implications for the origin of species and evolutionary theory. Classification. Comparative study of the of groups of animals or plants reveals great similarities in certain structural features. Anatomy. The of the human coccyx are thought to represent vestigial structure, the tail possessed by our ancestors and embryos. Vertebrate. The vertebrate of the human are thought to represent vestigial structure, the tail possessed by our ancestors and embryos. Coccyx. The vertebrate of the human coccyx are thought to represent vestigial structure, the tail possessed by our and embryos. Ancestors. The vertebrate of the human coccyx are thought to represent vestigial structure, the tail possessed by our ancestors and embryos. The vertebrate of the human coccyx are thought to represent structure, the tail possessed by our ancestors and embryos. Vestigial. The vertebrate of the are thought to represent vestigial structure, the tail possessed by our ancestors and embryos. Human coccyx. When a group of organisms share a homologous structure which is specialized to perform a variety of different functions, it shows what is known as adaptive radiation. Structures only bear superficial similarities. Analogous. Analogous structures only bear similarities. Superficial. The existence of structures suggests the occurrence of convergent evolution. Analogous. The existence of analogous structures suggests the occurrence of convergent evolution. The existence of analogous structures suggests the occurrence of convergent evolution. Generally, the process of shows an evolutionary mechanism. Convergent evolution. Generally, the process of convergent evolution shows an mechanism. Evolutionary. Generally, the process of convergent evolution shows an evolutionary mechanism. Generally, the process of convergent shows an evolutionary mechanism. Evolution. A study of the embryonic development of the vertebrate groups by von Baerer, 1792–1867, revealed striking structural similarities occurring in all the groups, especially during gastrulation and the only stages of differentiation. Cleavage. A study of the embryonic development of the vertebrate groups by von Baerer, 1792–1867, revealed striking structural similarities occurring in all the groups, especially during cleavage. And the only stages of differentiation. Gastrulation. A study of the embryonic development of the vertebrate groups by von Baerer, 1792–1867, revealed striking structural similarities occurring in all the groups, especially during cleavage, gastrulation, and the only stages of differentiation. Suggested that this had an evolutionary significance. Haeckel, 1834–1919. In embryonic development is a very indication of having originated from common ancestry. Similarity. Similarity in dash is a very indication of having originated from common ancestry. Embryonic development. Similarity in embryonic development is a very indication of having originated from common ancestry. Study of the dash of major groups organisms reveals structural similarities in the embryonic stages which are not apparent in the adult stages. Embryological development. With the advent of dash analysis, more light has been shed on evolution ideas. Biochemical. With the advent of dash dash, more light has been shed on evolution ideas. Biochemical analysis. With the advent of biochemical analysis, more light has been shed on evolution ideas. The occurrence of similar molecules in a complete range of organisms supports the existence of dash similar to the anatomical homology. Biochemical homology. The occurrence of similar molecules in a complete range of organisms supports the existence of biochemical homology similar to the dash dash. Anatomical homology. Dash has produced evidence of phylogenetic links between organisms. Immunological research. Immunological research has produced evidence of dash links between organisms. Phylogenetic. Immunological research has produced evidence of dash between organisms. Phylogenetic links. That dash is widely accepted among scientists as a strong proof for the origin of life. Evolution. The term dash refers to all human beings of all races, and gender-leaning. Man refers to all human beings of all, and gender-leaning races. Man refers to all human beings of all races, and leaning gender. Man refers to dash dash. All human beings of all races, and gender-leaning. Man belongs to a group of higher animals called dash dash. Mammals. Man belongs to the order dash dash. Primate. Human being, man, belongs to an order of mammals called dash dash. Primate. The order primates are three groups of animals called dash dash. Anthropoids. Humans and their ancestors are more closely related to dash than other anthropoids. Apes. Man belongs to the family dash dash. Hominidae. Dash has suggested that gorillas and chimpanzees may have diverged from human stock as recently as 5 million years ago. Comparative biochemistry. Freedom of the hands from dash enabled them to be used for carrying objects and manipulating the environment, all ritual activities. Locomotion. Dash of the hands from locomotion enabled them to be used for carrying objects and manipulating the environment, all ritual activities. Freedom. The course of human evolution is remarkable in that gradual transmissions in physical features, skeleton development, out, were supported by an accelerating development in social behavior. This process of becoming human is called dash hominization. Hominization is believed to be influenced by the following: I. The development of manipulative skill and speech. 2. Changes in sexual behavior allowing pair bonding and increased parental supervision of children. 3. The establishment of communal organization and social responsibility, arising from the principle of food sharing. The following are the features of the members of primate: I. Possession of opposable thumb with grip for power and precision. 2. Ability to rotate hand, forelimb, through 1803. Eyes close together on face with parallel optical axis, i.e. eyes are located in the front part of the head. 4. Possession of increased number of rods/cones with own nerve cells. V. Possession of reduced snout allowing flatter face. 6. Possession of expanded area for cerebrum, ventral foramen magnum, i.e. enlarged skull. 7. Possession of increased sensory/motor areas, deeply fission. 8. Undergo long gestation period, period of conception, and parental care, care for their young ones. 9. Used to embark on corporate activities and group cohesion. The issue of the dash in line with the origin of life still remains a controversial issue among different groups of people. Origin of man. According to the dash tradition, as documented by Idiom, 1962, some creatures that form the nucleus of the human occupation of the earth had been in existence even earlier than the earth. Yoruba. According to the Yoruba tradition, as documented by some creatures that form the nucleus of the human occupation of the earth had been in existence even earlier than the earth. Idiom, 1962. Traditionally, Yoruba also believe in Olodumare, Orizinla, and Orunmila. Was regarded as the minister in charge of creation of the earth and later created humans from the clay or dust of the earth. Orizinla. The duty of was to create a lifeless human. Orizinla. The duty of Orizinla was to create a lifeless human. The cripple, albino, all are special works of his prerogative or more often than not displeasure. Hunchback. The hunchback, albino, all are special works of his prerogative or more often than not displeasure. Cripple. The hunchback, cripple, all are special works of his prerogative or more often than not displeasure. Albino. According to A, variation among human beings was due to the pleasure or displeasure of Orizinla. Yoruba. According to Yoruba, variation among human beings was due to the pleasure or displeasure of Orizinla. God rested on the day. 7th. Gave the name of the first man created by God as Panku. Chinese legends. Chinese legends gave the name of the first man created by God as Panku. The theory of the approached the origin of man from the religious points of view. Special creation. The theory of the special creation approached the origin of man from the religious points of view. The Holy Quran and the Holy Bible share the same view about the origin of man. True. The main point of the two religions has to do with spontaneous creation by as we see them. God. The main point of the two religions has to do with by God as we see them. Spontaneous creation. Charles Darwin's work on the origin of species sparked off the controversy in the year 1859 casts serious aspersion upon the creation story in the book of Genesis. Darwin's theory. Darwin's theory casts serious aspersion upon the creation story in the book of Genesis. Observed that while there is no genuine evidence to back the theory of special creation, it is also very difficult to disprove. Edward, 1979. According to acceptance and adherence to an evolutionary theory in preference to a special creation, simply on the plausibility of the interpretation provided by the evolutionary theory rather than definitive proof of special creation. Edward, 1979. Religiously, it is only that have religion and free will to do things accordingly. Humans. Is a special creation that has many special features than other creation. Man belongs to the order and family. Primate, hominidae. Are more related to the apes than any other group of animals. Human beings. Human beings are more related to the than any other group of animals. Apes. Different people have different feelings about how man originated. True. Is something we can at least in principle touch or see. Matter. Matter is something we can at least in principle touch or see. Is a concept used so often in everyday language which seems quite familiar. Energy. Manifests itself in man's day-to-day activities. Energy. For instance, a young child jumping up and down has energy. Is certainly associated with energy. Motion. Motion is certainly associated with energy. Energy comes in other forms too. True. Computers, planes find cars, bicycles and trains all moved by energy. And light are forms of energy. Heat. Heat and are forms of energy. Heat. Are forms of energy. Heat and light. Is defined as the ability or capacity to do work. Energy. Energy is defined as dash dash. The ability or capacity to do work. Dash is the potential or capacity to move matter. Energy. All forms of energy are capable of doing dash work. Energy is divided into dash dash. Potential and kinetic. Energy due to position is called dash dash. Potential energy. Energy produced by a moving object is called dash dash. Kinetic energy. The two main forms of energy are and kinetic energy. Potential energy. The two main forms of energy are potential energy and kinetic energy. A battery is essentially a store of energy because dash dash. It has chemical substances with the potential to move matter. The dash moves the car. Electric motor. A car in dash has energy as a result of that, motion. Motion. A battery is said to contain dash because the chemical substances in it has the potential to move matter, irrespective of their being used for this purpose or not. Chemical energy. A battery is said to contain chemical energy because dash dash the chemical substances in it has the potential to move matter, irrespective of their being used for this purpose or not. Heat is a form of dash dash. Energy. When heat passes into a substance such as air dash dash. Bits of matter, air molecules, begin to move faster. Dash is the kinetic energy of moving molecules. Heat. Dash comes from the sun, solar energy, and is Earth's primary energy source. Radiant energy. Dash heats the atmosphere and Earth's surface, stimulates the growth of regulation through the process of photosynthesis, and influences global climate patterns. Solar energy. Dash is the energy associated with the random motion of atoms and molecules. Thermal energy. Generally, dash can be calculated from temperature measurements. Thermal energy. Generally, thermal energy can be calculated from dash measurements. Temperature. Dash is stored within the structural units of chemical substances. Chemical energy. When substances participate in chemical reactions dash dash. Chemical energy is released, stores or converted to other forms of energy. Energy available by virtue of an object's position is called dash dash. Potential energy. Chemical energy can be regarded as a form of dash energy because it is associated with the relative positions and arrangements of atoms within a substance. Potential. Chemical energy can be regarded as a form of potential energy because dash dash. It is associated with the relative positions and arrangements of atoms within a substance. Dash energy is particularly easy to describe quantitatively. Kinetic. An object that is moving has more energy than when it was not moving. True. Dash is the energy associated with an object by virtue of its motion. Kinetic energy. A car moving down the street has dash as does a molecule moving across a vessel. Kinetic energy. A car moving down the street has kinetic energy as does a dash moving across a vessel. Molecule. A car moving down the street has kinetic energy as does a molecule moving across a dash dash. Vessel. The quantity of kinetic energy possessed by the car or the molecule depends on its speed. The joule is popular among scientists primarily because dash dash. It is defined in S.I units, which makes calculation easier to do. Dash is the energy an object has because of its position in a gravitational field, or similar environment that affects the object. Potential energy. Potential energy is the energy an object has because dash dash of its position in a gravitational field, or similar environment that affects the object. The SI unit for measuring energy is dash dash. Joule. Potential energy and all other forms of energy can be measured in the same unit. True. The equation which relates potential energy of an object to the mass and height of the object falling under gravity is dash dash. Potential energy equals mass x acceleration x height due to gravity PE equals mgh. Calculate the potential energy possessed by a coconut fruit of mass 100 kilograms dropping from the top of the parent plant, 10 meters high. The answer is dash dash. 1x 103 J or 1 kJ. To convert calorie to joules you need to use the relationship dash dash. 1 calorie equals 4.184 JBTU stands for dash dash. British thermal units. The power holding company, formerly NEPA, uses dash unit to charge you for the electrical energy you use. Kilowatt hour. Dash is often used to describe the energy requirements of heating and air condition of equipment. BTU. The rate at which energy is produced or used is called power. The SI unit of power is dash dash. Watt. Dash is defined as I joule per sound, JS1, S kilowatt hour then is 1000 watt hours of energy use. Watt, W. Energy is the dash to do work. Capacity. Dash is the capacity to do work. Energy. Energy is the capacity to do dash dash. Work. Dash is the energy possessed by a body in motion. Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a dash in motion. Body. Dash energy is the energy possessed by a body in motion. Kinetic. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a body in dash dash. Motion. Dash energy is the energy possessed by virtue of its position. Potential. Potential energy is the energy possessed by dash of its position. Virtue. Potential energy is the energy possessed by virtue of its dash dash. Position. Dash is the energy possessed by virtue of its position. Potential energy. The SI unit for measuring energy is dash dash. Joule. The following are units for measuring energy. Calorie. ABTU. Kilowatt hour. Joule. All living organisms including man may be regarded as dash which require a continuous supply of energy in order to keep working. Working machines. Energy may come in various forms such as dash dash. Light, chemical, heat, electrical, mechanical and sound. The ultimate source of energy on Earth to man is the dash dash. Sun. The dash is constantly radiating light on the Earth's surface. Sun. The sun is constantly dash light on the Earth's surface. Radiating. The sun is constantly radiating dash on the Earth's surface. Light. The sun is constantly radiating light on the dash dash. Earth surface. The sun is constantly radiating light on the dash surface. Earth. A portion of this light energy falls on Earth, and some of it is used by plant to convert carbon dioxide and water into various energy storing compounds, via a process known as dash dash. Photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide plus water plus energy, glucose plus oxygen, sunlight, glucose plus oxygen, carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. The dash stored in the food eaten by man is converted into heat energy after being subjected to series of physiological processes in man's body. Chemical energy. The chemical energy stored in the food eaten by man is converted into dash after being subjected to series of physiological processes in man's body. Heat energy. The chemical energy stored in the food eaten by man is converted into heat energy after being subjected to series of dash in man's body. Physiological processes. Much of the energy available on dash has been collected by plants during photosynthesis. Earth. Much of the energy available on Earth has been collected by dash during photosynthesis. Plants. Much of the energy available on Earth has been collected by plants during dash dash. Photosynthesis. Man and indeed all animals ultimately rely on dash for food energy. Plants. Man and indeed all animals ultimately rely on plants for dash dash. Food energy. Man and indeed all animals dash dash ultimately rely on plants for food energy. Ultimately, dash and provide man with the food energy we need. Plants and sun. The dash provides the basic and ultimate source of energy to man. Sun. The three largest sources of the energy consumed by man are dash dash, coal and natural gas. Petroleum. The three largest sources of the energy consumed by man are petroleum, and natural gas. Coal. The three largest sources of the energy consumed by man are petroleum, coal, and natural gas. The largest sources of the energy consumed by man are petroleum, coal, and natural gas. The were formed million years ago, when aquatic plants and animals were buried and compressed by layers of sediments at the bottom of swamps and seas. Fossil fuels. Is electric power generated by river water flowing through a turbine. Hydroelectric power. The sun's warmth evaporates water. Is the source of nuclear energy. Uranium. Which is the source of nuclear energy, has been present on Earth since the solar system first formed about 5 million years ago. Uranium. Uranium, which is the source of has been present on Earth since the solar system first formed about 5 million years ago. Nuclear energy. Uranium has been present on Earth since the solar system first formed about million years ago. 5. Substantial amount of energy is obtained from such natural sources as wood, water, wind, and tide. Provides a major source of energy today in different parts of the world where other fuels are not available, or their prices are unaffordable. Wood. Is essential for farming. Water. Water is essential for farming. The contains tremendous amount of energy, but it is intermittent and diffuse. Wind. Are usually more expensive relative to the energy delivered. Windmills. Flows from the hot interior part of the Earth to the surface where it is lost by radiation into space. Geothermal energy. Is a great amount of energy in the tides, but the oceans have been a difficult energy source to harness. Tidal energy. Energy comes from the energy of rotation of the Earth. Tidal energy. Major carboniferous fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Major carboniferous fuels are petroleum and natural gas. Coal. Major carboniferous fuels are coal, and natural gas. Petroleum. Major carboniferous fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Occur together in nature and they are obtained from wells drilled by companies that produce and sell the fossil fuels. Petroleum and natural gas. Is the same thing as crude oil. Petroleum. Petroleum is the same thing as crude oil. Petroleum is the same thing as crude oil. True. Provide about 75% of the energy used in the world. Oil and gas. Oil and gas provide about % of the energy used in the world. 75. And gas provide about 75% of the energy used in the world. Oil. Oil and provide about 75% of the energy used in the world. Gas. Will still be rising when production begins its inevitable decline. Demand. Demand will still be rising when begins its inevitable decline. Production. Demand will still be rising when production begins its inevitable decline. One major problem of the developed world is that much of the petroleum and gas reserves are located in the developing countries, whose own energy requirement will be growing year in year out. In about 80% of the energy is derived from petroleum and petroleum products. Nigeria. In Nigeria, about % of the energy is derived from petroleum and petroleum products. 80 in Nigeria, about 80% of the energy is derived from and petroleum products. Petroleum. In Nigeria, about 80% of the energy is derived from petroleum and petroleum products. Accounts for more than 90% of our source of national income. Petroleum. Has been found very useful especially for moving locomotive engines, providing source of heat energy. Coal. One problem with the use of coal is that coal constitutes a pollutant because coal bumping produces oxides of sulfur and solid waste particles, and the mines themselves empty wastes into the atmosphere. Provide other useful sources from which man obtain energy. Oil shale and sand tar. Oil shale and sand tar are found in Nigeria. Ondo. The deposit are usually rich in bitumen materials called kerosene. Oil shale. The oil shale deposit are usually rich in materials called kerosene. Bitumen. The oil shale deposit are usually rich in bitumen materials called kerosene. No nation can develop without an abundant supply and judiciously managed energy sources. True. The conventional sources of energy such as wood, coal, petrol or natural waterfalls used for are fast becoming inadequate. Hydroelectric power. The erratic nature and system of electric power supply in Nigeria are indices to confirm that our energy demand is greater than the supply. Power shedding. Industries produce at high cost because they have to procure their own power generating plants due to the erratic nature of power supply in the country, which in most cases are not always available. The housewife is finding it extremely difficult meeting her domestic needs because of lack of energy sources such as cooking gas, kerosene to cook at home. The ultimate source of energy on earth is Sunday combines simple materials such as carbon dioxide and water in the presence of radiant energy from sun to produce glucose, and oxygen is released as byproducts. Plants combine simple materials such as in the presence of radiant energy from sun to produce glucose, and oxygen is released as byproducts. Carbon dioxide and water. Plants combine simple materials such as carbon dioxide and water in the presence of radiant energy from sun to produce is released as byproducts. Glucose and oxygen. Man requires energy for a number of reasons. Physiological. Man requires for a number of physiological reasons. Energy. Requires energy for a number of physiological reasons. Man. The three largest sources of energy consumed by man are natural gas and coal. Petroleum. The three largest sources of energy consumed by man are petroleum, natural gas, and coal. Man's energy sources can be grouped into 2. Man's energy sources can be grouped into 2 natural and recurring sources and the fossil fuels. Refers to the transfer of thermal energy between two bodies at different temperatures. Heat. Basically, heat refers to the transfer of energy between two bodies at different temperatures. Thermal. Basically, heat refers to the transfer of between two bodies at different temperatures. Thermal energy. Basically, heat refers to the transfer of thermal energy between two bodies at different temperatures. The aspect of chemical science that studies the process of change in chemical reactions is called thermochemistry. Basically, there are types of systems. 3. An system can exchange mass and energy, usually in the form of heat, with its surroundings, e.g. water in an open container. Open. A system allows for transfer of energy but not mass. Closed. The three types of systems are open system, closed system, and isolated system. Energy changes during a process can be explained in terms of or release of energy. Since energy cannot be created or destroyed, any energy lost by a system must be gained by the surroundings. Absorption. Any process that transfers thermal energy to the surroundings, i.e. gives off heat, is called an exothermic reaction. The decomposition of mercury, oxide is an example of endothermic reaction. In an the energy of the product is less than that of the reactants. Exothermic reaction. The difference is due to the energy supplied to the system from the Surroundings. Energy changes in chemical reactions are due to dash dash. The forming and breaking of bonds. Energy changes in chemical reactions are due to the forming and breaking of dash dash. Bonds. The strength of a bond is determined by the amount of energy required to separate the atoms or ions held by the bond. This energy requirement is known as dash dash. Bond energy. Dash is defined as the average amount to energy required in making or breaking a mole of a particular bond in its gaseous state. Bond energy. The average amount to energy required in making or breaking a mole of a particular bond in its gaseous state is called dash dash. Bond energy. Dash is an aspect of chemistry that deals with the study of interconversion of heat and other kinds of energy. Thermodynamics. Dash expresses the relationships between heat and other forms of energy. Thermodynamics. We study changes in the state of a system which is defined by the values of all relevant macroscopic properties. Thermodynamics. Dash states that energy can be converted from one form to another but cannot be created or destroyed. The first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics is based on dash dash. The law of conservation of energy. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy can be converted from one form to another but cannot be dash or destroyed. Created. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy can be converted from one form to another but cannot be created or dash dash destroyed. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy can be converted from one form to another but cannot be dash dash created or destroyed. Dash is a property of a substance measured in JK1 and mol1. Entropy. Dash means a measure of the degree of disorderliness or randomness of a substance. Entropy. Solid crystals with orderly array of molecules have dash entropy. Low. A liquid has a dash entropy. Higher. Dash states that a spontaneous process occurs only if there is an increase in the entropy of a system and its surroundings. The second law of thermodynamics. The dash of a chemical system, denoted by G, is the energy which is available for doing work. Free energy. Dash is the force that brings about a chemical change. Free energy. All chemical changes in nature involve energy changes. True. The energy changes are in the form of heat. The chemical changes usually take place in dash dash. Chemical systems. There are three main types of chemical systems. These include dash dash, open, closed and isolated systems. All chemical processes are associated with dash dash. Formation of breaking of bonds. All chemical processes are associated with formation of dash dash. Breaking of bonds. The amount of energy required to break the atoms and ion in substance called dash determine the strength of the bond. Bond energy. Any chemical process where energy is supplied into the system is said to be dash dash. Endothermic. Any chemical process that releases energy to the surroundings is called an dash process. Exothermic. Any chemical process that releases energy to the surroundings is called an dash dash exothermic process. Chemical process may occur dash or otherwise. Spontaneously. Two main factors determine the spontaneity of a chemical process. These are dash dash free energy and entropy of the system. The study of interconversion of heat energy to other forms of energy is known as thermodynamics. Dash means degree of disorderliness or randomness of a system. Entropy. Entropy means dash dash degree of disorderliness or randomness of a system. Dash is the energy available to do work. Free energy. Dash involves the process of changing energy from one form to another. Energy conversion. The dash dominates the field. Electromagnetism principle. The dash principle dominates the field. Electromagnetism. The electromagnetism principle dominates the dash dash field. Dash are an accepted form of electrochemical device of small capacity. Electric batteries. Electric batteries are an accepted form of electrochemical device of small capacity. Electric batteries are an accepted form of electrochemical device of dash capacity. Small. Electric batteries are an accepted form of electrochemical device of dash dash. Small capacity. The dash in automobiles gives a typical example of the process of converting chemical energy to mechanical energy. Combustion engine. The combustion engine in automobiles gives a typical example of the process of converting dash to mechanical energy. Chemical energy. The combustion engine in automobiles gives a typical example of the process of converting chemical energy to dash dash. Mechanical energy. The chemical energy contained in the fuel is converted to dash when the fuel bums in the combustion engine. Heat energy. The chemical energy contained in the fuel is converted to heat energy when dash dash. The fuel bums in the combustion engine. The dash is in turn converted to mechanical energy which is used to turn the wheel. Heat energy. The heat energy is in turn converted to dash which is used to turn the wheel. Mechanical energy. The heat energy is in turn converted to mechanical energy which is used to turn the dash dash wheel. The heat energy is converted to dash to operate the various gadgets, radio, radio cassette, air conditioners etc., in the automobile. Electrical energy. The heat energy is converted to electrical energy to operate the various gadgets, radio, radio cassette, air conditioners etc., in the dash dash. Automobile. Many nations are not blessed with waterfalls through which they can generate dash via hydroelectricity. Electricity. Many nations are not blessed with waterfalls through which they can generate electricity via hydroelectricity. Dash may be used to generate heat energy which is converted to mechanical energy used in turning the coil which eventually produces electricity, electrical energy. Fuel. Fuel may be used to generate dash which is converted to mechanical energy used in turning the coil which eventually produces electricity, electrical energy. Heat energy. Fuel may be used to generate heat energy which is converted to mechanical energy used in turning the coil, which eventually produces electricity, electrical energy. This is often called dash dash. Thermal electricity. The dash processes of the sun produces a large quantity of energy which is transmitted in the form of light and heat waves. Nuclear. The energy through space is known as dash or solar energy. Radiant. The energy through space is known as radiant or dash dash. Solar energy. A number of such dash can be combined to form solar batteries to generate a large amount of electrical energy for industrial and domestic needs. Cells. The use of electric pressing iron at home involves a series of dash processes. Energy conversion. The dash is what is needed by the dry cleaner to stretch the squeezed dress or to get it smooth hand. Heat energy. The process of ironing the dress involves moving the iron to and fro on the dress, kinetic, and the process of handling the pressing iron by the user is dash dash. Mechanical. The stored in food materials must be converted into useful forms which are employed to affect the energy processes of man. Potential energy. ATP stands for dash dash. Adenosine triphosphate. Dash is the final chemical compound in which most cellular energy is packaged before use. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Large amount of dash is at man's disposal. Energy. All man's activities domestically and industrially involve series of dash dash. Energy conversion. All man's activities dash and involve series of energy conversion. Domestically and industrially. All man's activities domestically and industrially involve dash of energy conversion. Series. All man's activities domestically and industrially involve series of dash conversion. Energy. Dash is a process of changing energy from one form to another. Energy conversion. The main objective of energy conversion system is dash dash. To make energy available to man in more usable forms. Energy in food is made available as dash dash. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Dash released from foods are converted into other forms of energy when man engages in series of activities. Heat energy. Basically, man requires energy for activity and growth. Body maintenance. Basically, man requires energy for body maintenance, dash and growth. Activity. Basically, man requires energy for body maintenance, activity, and dash dash. Growth. After all dash dash. Whatever goes up must come down. Most dash desire a provision for storing energy. Energy systems. Most energy systems desire a provision for dash energy. Storing. Energy could be stored in the following devices. Reservoir. Capacitors. Fossil fuels. Batteries. Dash states that the total energy of a system is unchanged in any series of processes, energy is rather converted from one form to another. Law of conservation of energy. Which law explains the indestructible nature of energy and emphasizes the interconvertible nature of energy from one form to another. Law of conservation of energy. Dash is an invention through which man has harnessed the cost-free potential energy of water falling from a hill or mountain to generate electricity. Hydroelectric power generation. The dash in Nigeria provides a typical example of a hydroelectric power station. Kinji Power Station. The Kinji Power Station in Nigeria provides a typical example of dash dash. A hydroelectric power station. When heat flows to a body dash dash. The kinetic energy of its molecules increases and consequently its temperature rises. The dash is a modern fashion of the clay pot. Refrigeration. Dash contains a volatile liquid, usually ammonia, which is allowed to vaporize in the freezer compartment, therefore extracting heat of vaporization from the freezer. Refrigeration. The main function of the refrigeration is dash dash. To extract heat from the freezer and send it to the surrounding. The dash compartment gets colder and the surrounding gets warmer. Freezer. The freezer compartment gets dash and the surrounding gets warmer. Colder. The freezer compartment gets colder and the surrounding gets dash dash. Warmer. The freezer compartment gets dash and the surrounding gets dash dash. Colder, warmer. Man has found the dash very useful in the storage and conservation of vegetate food items. Refrigerator. The energy used in running the dash is obtained from the large amount of heat produced during the combustion of petrol or diesel oil in the automobile engine. Automobile. If this energy is obtained from the heat produced by burning a fuel, the electricity generated thereof is called dash dash. Thermal electricity. A large quantity of energy is generated through nuclear processes in the dash dash. Sun. The dash is a device that converts solar energy to electrical energy. Solar cell. A number of cell units can be combined to form dash, producing a large amount of electrical energy which is used in homes and industries. Solar battery. A dash is a propagation of energy through a medium of space without the particles of the medium being displaced. Wave. The wave could be or electrical and magnetic. Mechanical. The wave could be mechanical or dash dash. Electrical and magnetic. The wave could be mechanical or dash and magnetic. Electrical. The wave could be mechanical or electrical and dash dash. Magnetic. It is the electric and magnetic field that oscillate. Electromagnetic wave. In an electromagnetic wave, it is the dash and field that oscillate. Electric and magnetic. The range of frequency of a sound which can stimulate the human organ of hearing is called audible range. A moving charge in a magnetic field will experience a dash dash. Magnetic force. A dash is a piece metal which when in a magnetized state is capable of establishing magnetic field around itself. Magnet. Dash has also found tremendous uses in a compass which is used in air and sea navigations. Electromagnetism. Dash accounts for more than 90% of the world's electrical energy generation. Electromagnetic induction. There are two ways to obtain nuclear energy and dash dash. Nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Dash involves a process in which the heavy nucleus splits into two lighter and more stable nuclei. Nuclear fission. During, large amount of energy is released in addition to radiation. Nuclear fission. Example of nation where fission is being used is the dash dash. United States of America. Dash involved a process in which light nuclear combine to give heavier, more stable nuclei with an accompanying release of energy and radiation. Nuclear fusion. The latest source of energy nowadays is the dash dash. Nuclear energy. Dash is obtained through nuclear fission and fusion. Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is obtained through dash and fusion. Nuclear fission. Nuclear energy is obtained through nuclear fission and dash dash. Nuclear fusion. Dash are useful in the production of hydrogen bomb, atomic pile, and atomic bomb and economic quantity of energy. Nuclear reactions. The process that fuels the sun is called dash nuclear fusion. Dash is the process that fuels the sun. Nuclear fusion. Dash refers to all natural features and slash or the attributes of nature that surround man. Environment. Dash are natural attributes that are found useful in a particular place at a particular point in time. Resources. Dash refers to the portion of the resources that can be kept and obtained for man's use. Reserve. Dash are resources whose stock are in continuous supply. Renewable resources. Examples of renewable resources include dash dash. Solar or radiant energy, water, and air. Dash are resources whose stock can be exhausted. Non-renewable resources. Examples of dash resources include solar or radiant energy, water, air, etc. Renewable. Dash has to do with the use of resource in such a way that it continues to be available. Sustainability. Dash are a group of naturally occurring materials found in the physical surroundings of man. Food products. Dash are a group of naturally occurring compounds that contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in their molecules. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates can be classified into dash main groups. 2. Dash are simple sugars forming the simplest group of carbohydrates. Monosaccharides. The most commonly occurring simple sugars in plants and animals are the dash dash. Hexose sugars. Hexose sugars have the chemical formula dash dash. C6H12O6. Dash are formed as a result of combination of two molecules of monosaccharide sugars with the elimination of one molecule of water. Disaccharides. Most commonly occurring disaccharide sugars include sucrose, cane sugar; maltose, malt sugar; lactose, milk sugar. Generally speaking, dash are crystalline in nature, soluble in water and have sweet taste. Sugars. Generally speaking, sugars are dash dash. Crystalline in nature, soluble in water and have sweet taste. Examples of polysaccharides are dash dash. Starch, glycogen, animal starch, cellulose, and insulin. Generally, dash are non-crystalline, i.e. amorphous, insoluble in water and are tasteless. Polysaccharides. Generally, polysaccharides are dash dash. Non-crystalline, i.e. amorphous, insoluble in water and are tasteless. Sugars can exist in both or cyclic forms. Open chain. Sugars can exist in both open chain or dash dash. Cyclic forms. Sugars, especially simple sugars, can exist in both dash dash. Open chain or cyclic forms. A dash or yellow precipitate is formed indicating the presence of a simple sugar. A red-orange or is formed indicating the presence of a simple sugar. Yellow precipitate. A red-orange or yellow precipitate is formed indicating the presence of a dash dash. Simple sugar. A dash indicates the presence of a complex sugar. Red-orange or yellow precipitate. A dash or yellow precipitate indicates the presence of a complex sugar. Red-orange. A red, orange or yellow precipitate indicates the presence of a complex sugar. A red, orange or yellow precipitate indicates the presence of a sugar complex. Dash are a group of nitrogen-containing compounds. Proteins. Dash are found in the protoplasm of plant cell, muscles, flesh or vertebrates, milk and cheese and egg. Proteins. All proteins, be it animal or plants, are built up from smaller units called amino acids. There are naturally occurring amino acids. 20 most proteins contain one amino group, NH2, and one carboxylic acid group, COOH. The following are the uses of glucose. It provides an immediate source of energy for the sick and sportsman. 2. It is used in the synthesis of sweet and jam. 3. It is a useful raw material in the production of ethanol by fermentation. The following are the uses of starch. It is used principally as food. 2. Industrially, it is used to produce ethanol and glucose. 3. In textile industries and in the laundry, it is used as softening agent. 4. Used as an adhesive to fasten material. The following are the uses of cellulose. It has no food value, but it is important as roughage in our diet to promote proper functioning of the digestive system. 2. It is the main raw material used for manufacturing paper. 3. It is used in the manufacture of cellophane, various types of rayon, cellulose, ethanote, used for making films, lacquers, and textile fibers. 4. It is used for making artificial leather and in painting automobiles. The following are the uses of proteins to man. They form part of the structure of living organisms, e.g. a considerable number of proteins is found in muscles, bones, etc. 2. Enzymes are proteins which catalyze biochemical processes and the digestion of food. 3. Hormones are also proteins. 4. It is essential for growth and replacement of old parts. B. Deficiency of proteins in human diet causes a disease known as kwashiorkor. Proteins are built up from about 20 amino acids. Animals. Animals' proteins are built up from amino acids. 20. Are widely distributed in both plants and animals. Vegetable oils and animal fats. And animal fats are widely distributed in both plants and animals. Vegetable oils. Vegetable oils and are widely distributed in both plants and animals. Animal fats. Vegetable oils and animal fats are widely distributed in both plants and animals. And fats are lipids. Oil and are lipids. Fats. Are lipids. Oil and fats are lipids. Fats have main functions. 2. Vitamins are added to increase the food value. A and D. Vitamins A and D are added to increase the food value. Vitamins A and D are added to increase the food value. Are added to increase the food value. Vitamins A and D. The sodium or potassium salts of the acid constitute soaps, and the process is known as saponification. Apart from providing men with nourishment, food resources provide useful means of energy, body maintenance, growth, and repairs. The natural food resources exist as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats and oils. The natural food resources exist as proteins and fats and oils. Carbohydrates. The natural food resources exist as carbohydrates, and fats and oils. Proteins. The natural food resources exist as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats and oils. Are natural endowment found in man's surroundings. Resources. Is a natural product, resource, which is obtained from the rubber tree, plant. Raw rubber. The biological name for the rubber tree, plant, is dash dash. Hevia brasiliensis. Is a tough, smooth and clear material. Rubber. Rubber tree, plant, is made by making a cut on the tree bark, and a thick white liquid called dash dash. Latex oozes. When latex is collected and heated, it changes into an elastic solid called dash dash. Raw rubber. Chemically, raw rubber is made up of 2-methyl-buta-1,3-diene monomers known as dash dash. Isoprene. Natural rubber is soft because dash dash. There are few cross links and it is easily oxidized because of the large number of double bonds present. Dash involves treating natural rubber with sulfur, which forms cross linkages using the double bonds. Vulcanization. When rubber is vulcanized dash dash, the sulfur forms bonds with the molecules during heating. Dash is made from a variety of unsaturated compounds. Synthetic rubber. Synthetic rubber is made from a variety of dash compounds. Unsaturated. Synthetic rubber is made from a variety of dash dash unsaturated compounds. The first synthetic rubber was poly-2-chlorobuta-1,3-diene, or dash dash neoprene. Synthetic rubber does not occur naturally. True. The dash is an aqueous emulsion of potassium persulfate. Polymerization agent. The dash agent is an aqueous emulsion of potassium persulfate. Polymerization. The polymerization agent is an aqueous emulsion of dash dash potassium persulfate. Dash is an example of synthetic rubber which is very similar to natural rubber, made from 2-chlorobuta-1,3-diene, chloroprene. Neoprene. SBR stands for dash dash. Styrene butadiene rubber. Is obtained by the copolymerization of phenylethene, styrene, with 3 parts of aqueous buta-1,3-diene. SBR. Dash is used in making vehicle tires and footwears because of its high resistance to abrasion. SBR rubber. A dash is a substance that is molded in a hot press and hardens on cooking. Plastic. The first plastic materials, celluloid, were made on commercial scale. 1868. There are dash main types of industrial plastics. 2. There are 2 main types of industrial plastics dash dash. Thermoplastic plastics and thermosetting plastics. Dash are materials which often on heating and then harder again on cooling. Thermoplastic plastics. Thermoplastic plastics are also known as dash dash. Thermosoftening plastics. Dash are usually linear molecules which are held together by weak van der Waals bonding. Thermosoftening plastics. Dash is a typical example of thermoplastic material. Polythene, polyethylene. Polythene, polyethylene, is a typical example of dash material. Thermoplastic. The basic unit of polythene is dash dash. Ethene. Dash polymerizes when subjected to high temperatures and pressures in the presence of little oxygen into a substance called polythene. Ethene. Dash are plastic materials that remain set and on heating will not soften for any possible remolding. Thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting materials, plastics, once they have been molded cannot be softened. True. Dash materials, plastics, once they have been molded cannot be softened. Thermosetting. The energy necessary to break any dash in the resulting macromolecules results in chemical decomposition. Linkages. The energy necessary to break any linkages in the resulting dash results in chemical decomposition. Macromolecules. The energy necessary to break any linkages in the resulting macromolecules results in dash dash. Chemical decomposition. The energy necessary to break any linkages in the resulting macromolecules results in chemical decomposition. Dash is an example of thermosetting plastics. Polyvinyl/chloride, PVC. Dash is formed when vinyl chloride polymerizes under pressure in the presence of oxygen. Polyvinyl/chloride, PVC. Dash is used in the manufacture of gloves. PVC. Dash is one of the earliest examples of thermosetting plastics used in making light objects. Bakelite. The following conditions have made our present plastic age possible. I. Plastics have properties that make them suitable for many purposes. 2. They can be molded into any desired shape and requirements. They can be made into hard, rigid blocks, thin flexible sheets, fibers that can be made into ropes and fabrics and very light foams. 3. The raw materials for manufacture of plastics are readily and cheaply available from the refining of crude oil. 4. Plastic materials can be produced at very low cost by using molds and automated manufacturing processes. Dash is a natural product obtained from the latex of the rubber tree. Rubber. Rubber is needed in making dash. Car tires, tubings, hoses, shoe heels, and Bunsen tubing. Dash is a synthetic product which is of immense importance to man. Plastic. There are dash main kinds of plastics. 2. There are two main kinds of plastics. These include thermoplastics, thermosoftening, and thermosetting plastics. Dash is one of the valuable natural, mineral, resources. Coal. Dash is a byproduct of plant remains or debris that have been buried over a long period of time. Coal. The physical and chemical transformation of the plant debris which prevent decay usually lead to the formation of coal. Coalification takes place in fairly distinct and successive stages. 6. The exploitation of coal in Algeria started in 1915. Is a mixture of many hydrocarbon compounds. Petroleum or crude oil. Is a byproduct of biotransformation of remains of plants and animals. Petroleum. Is separated into its fraction or constituents by fractional distillation process. Petroleum. Petroleum is separated into its fraction or constituents by fractional distillation. A number of oil deposits have been discovered in Nigeria after the initial location in at Olobori. 1956. A number of oil deposits have been discovered in Nigeria after the initial location in 1956 at Olobori. Can be regarded as a mixture of bitumen and some impurities. Asphalt. Can be defined as a class of black and dark colored solid, semi-solid or viscous substances, natural or manufactured, composed principally of high molecular mass hydrocarbon of which aspartic tar, pitches and asphalt NS are typical. Bitumen. The following's uses of bitumen/asphalt. I. The main application of bitumen is found in construction highway streets, and driveways, airfields, parking area, petrol station, and industrial floors, tennis courts and playgrounds, such as basketballs floors. 2. Asphalt is good in roofing all kinds of buildings ranging from individual homes and factory buildings. 3. Bitumen can be converted into synthetic crude, from which petrol, diesel, kerosene, grease are obtained. 4. In the production of sulfuric acid, phenol, and petrochemicals. V. In the protective coating and hydraulic structure. 6. In the manufacture of battery cases, tire, automatic brake lining and insulating and soundproofing. Is a sedimentary rock whose major component is calcium carbonate. Limestone. Limestone is a whose major component is calcium carbonate. Sedimentary rock. Limestone is a rock whose major component is calcium carbonate. Sedimentary. Limestone is a sedimentary rock whose major component is calcium carbonate. Limestone resulting from this source is referred to as autochthonous limestone. Was believed to have been formed from mechanical transportation and deposition of pre-existing limestone. Allochthonous limestone. Limestone is an important environmental resource. It is the basic raw material for the manufacture of cements. There is abundant supply of mineral resources in Nigeria. True. The following are examples of mineral resources. Coal. Petroleum or crude oil. Iron ore. Limestone. The dash of a particular place refers to the community of plants that covers the region. Natural vegetation. Dash and constitute two major factors which determine the type of vegetation in an area. Soil and rainfall. Nigeria has soil types that are suitable for dash and arable crops. Trees. Nigeria has soil types that are suitable for trees and dash dash. Arable crops. Nigeria has soil types that are suitable for trees and arable crops. Dash is usually tapped for a sweet local wine. Raffia palm. Raffia palm is usually tapped for dash dash. Sweet local wine. The evergreen dash is found immediately inward of the saltwater swamp forest. Rainforest. The dash is characterized by heavy rainfall. Forest. The forest is characterized by heavy rainfall. The dash is often referred to as saltwater swamp because the soil is waterlogged by saline water. Mangrove swamp forest. The mangrove swamp forest is often referred to as saltwater swamp because dash dash. The soil is waterlogged by saline water. The forest is characterized by heavy dash dash. Rainfall. The forest is arranged vertically in dash distinct layers based on the height of the trees. 3. The dash story consists of shrubs and ferns which form undergrowths. Lower. The dash story are plants of about 20 to 30 meters high with dark green leaves. Middle. The dash story is populated with tall trees which may be up to 60 meters in height. Top. 3 distinct savanna belts can also be identified in Nigeria. These are dash dash. Guinea savanna, Sudan savanna, and the Sahel savanna. Dash distinct savanna belts can be identified in Nigeria. 3. The dash occurs mostly in the middle belt of the country where the annual rainfall is between 100,000 150 centimeters. Guinea savanna. The Guinea savanna occurs mostly in the middle belt of the country where the annual rainfall is between dash dash 100 to 150 centimeters. The Guinea savanna is often called dash dash parkland savanna. The Guinea savanna is often called parkland savanna because dash dash of the arrangement of grasses and trees, which appears like a park. The dash lies to the north of Guinea savanna where the annual rainfall is less than 100 centimeters. Sudan savanna. The Sudan savanna lies to the north of Guinea savanna where the annual rainfall is less than dash dash 100 centimeters. The dash supports the cultivation of crops such as cotton, millet, groundnut, and rearing of cattle. Sudan savanna. Areas in Nigeria with annual rainfall of less than 50 centimeters are often referred to as dash dash. Sahel savanna. Substantial amount of meat consumed in this country come from dash dash savanna belt. The following are some of the factors that have contributed to declination of Nigeria vegetation resources. I. Bush banning. 2. Developmental activities. 3. Overgrazing. 4. Mining and exploitation activities. 4. Lumbering. 6. Natural factors, e.g. long drought. 6. Agricultural activities. Dash consists of the rivers, lakes, streams, springs, seas, and oceans. Water resource. Nigeria is bound in the south by the dash dash Atlantic Ocean. The features of rivers in Nigeria include I. The volume of water in them varies from season to season. 2. Rivers in the south take off from the western highlands and flow to the sea, whereas rivers in the northern part of the country take off from the north-central plateau and move in different directions. 3. Nigerian rivers are located with weathered part of the soil on which they flow. 4. The topography of the land on which they flow has a great influence on their usage. Nigeria rivers vary in length. The following are the limitation of Nigeria water resources, rivers. Seasonal variation in volume of water in our rivers. Hardness of water, which makes it unstable for some applications. The presence of some landforms along the courses of rivers, e.g. hinders navigation. Industrial activities which have rendered some rivers unfit for both domestic and industrial application. Dash is an indispensable resource at man's disposal. Water. Dash harbors fish and other valuable aquatic animals which serve as one major source of man's animal proteins. Water. The wise use of naturally available resources in such a way that wastage, loss, and harm are prevented or reduced is called dash dash. Conservation. Generally, dash involves exploitation of natural resources through rational use to ensure their continued use and preserving the quality or original nature of the natural resources. Conservation. The reasons for conservation include the following. I. To reduce indiscriminate destruction of natural environment. 2. To preserve rare and valuable species of animals and plants for future generation to recognize, thereby preventing their extinction. 3. To preserve naturally beautiful sceneries, e.g. Asun Osigbo, Akagasi warm spring, etc. for their aesthetic values. 4. To ensure steady and continuous cycling of some scarce mineral resources such as gold, tin, silver, etc. B. To enhance man's continued use of natural resources such as water, animals, plants, and food resources. 6. To ensure steady supply of mineral resources for research purposes. 7. For prevention of natural ecosystem. GEMP stands for dash dash. Global Ecological Marshall Plan. The GEMP has the following objectives to achieve. I. To protect the climate. 2. To save the tropical forest. 3. To stabilize the population. 4. To promote East-West environmental cooperation. EG stands for dash dash. Ecosystem Conservation Group. NARESCON stands for dash dash. Natural Resources Conservation Council. There are dash main methods of conservation. 3. The biological name for the plant is dash dash. Hevea brasiliensis. Addition of Million reagent to a colloidal solution of protein which is heated gives a color red. The yam slice or rice grain turned blue-black in color if a drop or two of dilute dash solution. Iodine. Glucose is a useful raw material in the production of dash dash. Ethanol. The resources whose stock are in continuous supply are called dash dash. Renewable resources. The refrigeration is a modern fashion of the dash dash. Clay pot. The glucose formed is converted to dash and cellulose and stored in the body of plants. Starch. The nuclear processes of the sun produce a large quantity of energy which is transmitted in the form of dash and heat waves. Light. An aspect of chemistry that deals with the study of interconversion of heat and other kinds of energy is known as dash dash. Thermodynamics. Bitumen materials are also called dash dash. Kerosene. Oil and gas provide about %% of the energy used in the world. 75. The oil shale deposits are usually rich in dash materials. Bitumen. Dash is not a condition to determine if a reaction will occur spontaneously. Internal energy. Dash is the energy in a body at rest. Potential energy. Dash is a device which converts solar energy to electricity. Solar cell. Burning of dash in power plants to convert chemical energy to electricity. Coal. Dash involves process of changing energy from one form to another. Energy conversion. Energy conversion to a man-made process in which energy is made more dash dash usable. Energy available for doing work in a chemical system is dash dash. Free energy. There are main types of chemicals dash dash. 3. These are different forms of energy except dash dash. Chemical. Wallace and Darwin made a joint presentation on natural selection in year dash dash 1858. The order primate includes all except dash dash fishes. Some endothermic processes take place dash dash spontaneously. Entropy is a measure of degree of dash in a substance. Randomness. For every substance, as dash increases, the degree of disorder or entropy increases. Temperature. Dash is not a condition to determine if a reaction will occur spontaneously. Internal energy. Energy available for doing work in a chemical system is dash dash. Free energy. All chemical changes in nature involve dash dash. Energy changes. They usually take place in chemical systems. Chemical changes. Involves process of changing energy from one form to another. Energy conversion. Which of these is not evidence to support the theory of evolution dash dash? Photosynthesis. Man belongs to a group of higher animals called dash dash. Mammals. Current evidence suggests that the earlier set of organisms were dash dash. Heterotrophs. Geothermal energy has been successfully utilized in the following countries except in dash dash. California. Origin of life on Earth has been accounted for by which theory dash dash? Mutational theory. The only theory concerning the origin of life that appears scientific is dash dash. Theory of evolution. The theory that God created the world in 4004 BC, from October 23, was propounded by dash dash. Archbishop Usher of Armagh. The theory of dash has remained controversial because it cannot be subjected to any form of testing. Special creation. The theory of spontaneous generation was propounded by dash dash. Aristotle. The theory that certain particles of matter contain an active principle which could produce living organisms under favorable conditions is referred to as dash theory. Spontaneous generation. All these belong to the theory of spontaneous generation except dash dash. Darwin. Dash is the wise use of natural available resources in such a way that wastage, loss, and harm are reduced or prevented. Conservation. Iron is usually found in the combined state as dash dash. Or. There are dash main types of chemical system. 3. Energy available for doing work in a chemical system is dash dash. Free energy. For every substance, as dash increases, the degree of disorder or entropy increases. Temperature. Dash is the heat content of a system. Enthalpy. Burning of in power plants to convert chemical energy to electricity. Coal. Main objective of energy conversion system is to make energy dash to man. Available. All chemical processes are associated with formation or breaking of dash dash. Bonds. There is need to conserve and the natural resources. Preserve. There is need to dash and preserve the natural resources. Conserve. Energy conversion to a man-made process in which energy is made more dash dash. Usable. Man belongs to a group of higher animals called dash dash. Invertebrate. The energy stored within the structural units of chemical substances is called dash dash. Chemical. Dash is a useful raw material in the production of ethanol. Glucose. Wallace and Darwin made a joint presentation on natural selection in 1858. Current evidence suggests that the earlier set of organisms were dash dash. Heterotrophs. The oil shale deposit is usually rich in dash materials. Bitumen. Oil and gas provide about % of the energy used in the world. 75%. The refrigeration is a modern fashion of the dash dash. Clay pot. The resources whose stock are in continuous supply are called dash dash. Renewable. Glucose is a useful raw material in the production of dash dash. Ethanol. The glucose formed is converted to dash and cellulose and stored in the body of plants. Starch. An aspect of chemistry that deals with the study of interconversion of heat and other kinds of energy is known as dash dash. Light. The contention between scientists and theologists regarding the history of origin of life dash dash continues. The issue of how life originated on Earth has been a major bone of contention between dash dash scientists and religionists. Dash this theory explains that life has no origin. Steady state theory. Dash is the theory which explains that life originated from non-living matter. Spontaneous generation. Dash is the theory which explains that life moved onto these planet Earth from elsewhere. Cosmozoans theory. Dash is one of the theories of life which explains that life arose according to chemical and physical laws. Biochemical evolution theory. Dash is one of the theories of life which explains that life was created by a natural being at a particular time. Special creation. The only theory concerning the origin of life that appears scientific is known as dash dash. Evolution. The conscious attempt to inculcate unshakable commitment or doctrine is known as dash dash. Indoctrination. The issue of how life originated has been a point of dash dash controversy.